Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Alinga Sister of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Today I'm super excited because it's our first night brooding our 700 layers. Okay, and they have given us 14 bonus because, as we know, the birds came from far, and actually they reached the farm very late. I think it was around 6:30, just like I mentioned in the previous video, and actually that's why I ended up uploading that video very late. And right now, as we speak, it's already midnight and I'm still here inside the brooder. Okay, there are a few things that I want us to learn. If it is the first night like this, by the way, as a farmer, sometimes you'll end up sleeping inside the brooder. Okay, so that is why for us who have the farms like where very close to where we stay, we are on a better side. Okay, so right now, if you see inside our brooder, let me show you inside the brooder. Okay, let me show you inside the brooder. So right now, if you see inside the brooder, the way I've set it up, you can see I have the source of heat there. Now on the first 4 nights of this bird's life, it is a very complicated one. Okay, now like when after bringing in the birds and putting them inside here, I accidentally stepped on one bird. So their the first 3 days of their life, I can say first 5 days, it's a very complicated time as a farmer. Okay, that is why some farmers end up even sleeping inside the brooder. That's why it is already midnight and you can see Alinga is still inside here. Okay, now there are these cases where birds pile together. Now like that one, you find them piling in one particular corner. There are so many reasons that make them to pile like that. Sometimes finds when they want to sleep, so they feel it okay, cuddling each other. And then sometimes when the house is not warm enough, it is cold, they also pile in one direction. Okay, so this is not good. So as a farmer, you will always have to come and scatter them like this. Okay, using your hands. This is how I normally do it, because sometimes if you don't do that, you realize there are some birds that are being squeezed under and they will end up dying down there. So as a farmer, it's always advised to keep on scattering them like that. And then also inside the brooder, always make sure that the first 3 days you don't put there the coffee husk or the wood shavings down. That is why I ended up putting those newspapers. Okay, actually I just bought them simply because over the years, I also didn't know this, but over the years I used to lose so many birds. Okay, I used to lose so many birds, but whenever you pick that baby chick and touch around the crop here, you find that the coffee husk is stuck there, because me here I use the coffee husk. So that is why it is advised you put either the brooding papers down or you put something down before introducing those coffee husks inside the chicken house, because since they are still new and since they are still young, they peck on anything, so they will end up pecking on those coffee husks and they cannot digest it, and you will end up losing so many birds. So the previous birds that are currently laying and they're already old, I did the same, and also that is why I decided to do the same. So you can see birds are piling under that pot because the fire is already very hot. This is also not good. In most cases, it's better you also keep doing like this. Have to keep doing like this. Okay, and then inside the brooder, make sure always you put enough feeders. Just like you can see, I've put so many feeders. Okay, you put enough feeders for these birds and enough drinking water. Actually, I feel like we still do not have enough drinkers around, simply because I do not want to put those bigger drinkers, because as you can see how the other one is standing right inside there, it is really not good. It can end up soaking itself there, and you end up losing a bird just carelessly like that. So that is why I didn't want to put these bigger drinkers. Okay, and then someone might ask me, why have you put these card boxes like this? Okay, I've put the yellow feeders and these ones. You can see they are easily accessing this one compared to the yellow feeder. So most cases you can get a newspaper like that, cover the box like that, and you put for them also the feed inside there. Okay, but I want to confirm to you that these birds are very, very active, except the one that I stepped on. Actually, I accidentally stepped on that bird, and then also you find others that they are busy relaxing and their friends keep on stepping on them. This doesn't mean that this one is weak, but of course you cannot also avoid mortality on the first 3 days, especially if birds have come from far like this. Okay, but the way I'm seeing these birds are really very, very active, very, very lively, and I expect very few mortalities. If we are to lose birds here, should not exceed 5 birds. Okay, I want to look for the one that I stepped on accidentally. Okay, but I was also so exhausted, guys. Yesterday was not a very easy day for me, because the previous day I was informed around 7 p.m. in the evening that I'm going to receive the birds at 4 or 5 in the evening, the previous day. But then I was again called like at 10 that the birds are arriving at 11. So it kept me so disorganized. So when I again went to pick the birds, we delayed there. That's why the birds even ended up reaching here at around 5, and then we put them inside at around 6:30. So I was also so exhausted. So when I was bringing in, I think that drinker, that is when I stepped on that. But actually it is right here. So you can see how you can carelessly just by accident lose a bird. I stepped on this bird. It is still alive, but I see it is really weak. I don't think it will survive. Okay. So guys, this is our brooder, and okay, I'm going to stay here like up to around 2. Then I go to my bed. Then I come back again by 4, like that. But you should always make sure that your source of heat is available, especially this time when they're still so young. Okay, and with the layers, we normally brood them for 4 weeks, unlike broilers whereby the brooding is done for 2 weeks. For the layers, you have to be ready to brood them for 4 weeks. Okay, and also another thing that I want us to know is that you must always make sure that a light is well distributed inside your chicken house. I think I've been also talking about this, but now we have got the chance to see it practically. Okay, I still feel that our light is not well distributed. Why? Simply because this was not the position that I had prepared for this brooder. I had prepared actually in the middle of the chicken house, but again a very good friend of mine advised me that no, let us make it the side of the wall. And being a good listener, I had to listen to that advice and picked it. So that is why you can see that my source of light is we have only 4 here. But in the middle where I had prepared that we were going to do the brooding farm, I had put like 6 points where we would put the bulbs. Okay, and these bulbs are very hot ones. Actually, in the middle right there, I had actually made sure that it was a bit down, and that was going to help me, by the way, in the charcoal or as a source of heat. But since we changed the plan, you can see the bulbs are a bit raised up, and we have only 4 inside here. So that makes I feel like the house is not bright enough the way I wanted it, but still the light here is well distributed. Okay, and then we are going to start measuring our feeds. Okay, today I didn't do the measurement because I was under pressure. I was seeing the birds were becoming so weak. They had not eaten, and they were really not doing well. So that is why we just rushed and scooped the feeds and came and gave them. But from tomorrow, from tomorrow, from today in the morning, when we wake up, we are going to start measuring the feeds, because we must measure their feeds. And then we are still to debate whether we are going to do vaccination. Guys, you've not yet given me your opinion in the comment section, whether we do the vaccination or we do not do the vaccination. But I started with the herbs right away. In the drinking water, we have ginger mixed with garlic. But I remember I mentioned that in yesterday's video that I was fermenting for them a probiotic, of which the fermentation was not yet complete. Okay, that is why I didn't give it to them, but I'll give it to them after 1 week. But in the drinking water, I have put their ginger and garlic. So our herbal remedies have started immediately. For so many of you who are asking, when are we supposed to start giving these birds the herbal remedies? Please, from day one, you can start giving the herbal remedies. And for some of you who would want to take the notes, please, you can note it down. Their day one at the farm, I have given them the ginger and garlic, and I'm going to do that for 3 consecutive days. Then after the 3rd day, we shall again give another herbal remedy. So you can start on the herbal remedy as soon as you bring the birds. And then also the vaccination, you guys, you're going to decide whether we do the vaccination or we do not do the vaccination. Please give me your comment in the comment section. Give me your opinion in the comment section, whether we are going to do the vaccination or not. Then also another thing that I want you to know is that the first 3 days of these birds inside the brooder, you have to take note of these birds that are over making noise, the ones that are over crying. Okay, take note of them. Sometimes find when they are not fine. Okay, those ones that are over crying, making a lot of noise, those are the ones that likely always fall a victim of mortality. So you have to take note of that. Okay, so as I've said, I feel like this side is a bit dark. Okay, I feel like this side is a bit dark compared to this other side. Okay, so I'm going to try to make sure that maybe I put a bigger bulb right here to make sure light here is also okay. But in the middle here, it is the light is well distributed. Then also in the right, the other side of the corner, I can see it is not very bright. But just because of the change in the program, these people kept on changing that program. So as I was saying is that, what I was saying is, if you see in the other corner, you see that the light is not well distributed. Okay, but that's because there was a lot of changes in the program. Okay, otherwise I was planning to make a very perfect brooder, but still I tried my best. That is why you can see everything is well set as it is supposed to be. So as a beginner or someone who has done the project in the beginning and failed, this is how you're supposed to set the brooder. And always remember, the first 3 nights of this bird's life, always you can either sleep here or you keep coming to check on the bird. Okay, so that is all I wanted us to learn for tonight. Otherwise, we all need to go and sleep. Okay, and then also another thing that I want us to learn is that the brooder doesn't mean that it should be too hot. No. Some of you think that if it is the brooder, some of you think that the brooder should be very hot in a way that when you enter inside, you should also be sweating. There is maximum amount of temperature or maximum amount of heat that is supposed to be inside the brooder, and I'm going to be able to share with you very soon. And then also, if you can see, I have managed to close I showed you actually this one in yesterday's video. I have managed to close my brooder very, very well, simply because we are in the rainy season. Okay, so the weather is really cold. So if you're going to get this bird during the rainy season, make sure that you close the brooder very well. But you can see I've also left the uppermost part there for fresh air. Okay, and then you can see my brooder is large enough. Okay, some of you think that the brooder should be very squeezed. No, the brooder should not be very, very squeezed. Neither should it be very, very large. Okay, but mine is it is standard, if I may say. It is standard, and it is large enough for the birds. So if you come inside here, you find that it is warm enough. That's why if you see, most of the birds they're okay. And now, like inside those things, you see they are feeding, but the birds are well distributed. Okay, so the brooder should not be extremely too hot for the birds. Okay, in a way that can even also affect their health. No. So for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for loving me. Thank you so much for all your wonderful love and support. It has made me reach where I am right now, and I'm hoping for more big success and big progress in this project. See you next time. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to give me your opinion whether we are going to do vaccination or not. I love you all. Bye bye.